Today we're going to be looking at Rolle's theorem, and we're going to be solving this equation to find all the values of c in the interval of -4 to 4 such that f of prime of c is equal to 0. Before we start, there's three conditions that must be met for us to use Rolle's theorem. The first is that f of x is continuous on the closed interval of -4 to 4. And we know that's true because this is a polynomial, and we know that all polynomials are continuous. And also, on that same line of thought, we know that f of x is also differentiable on -4 to 4 on an open interval because, again, this is a polynomial. Now, the third condition that also must be met is that f of a must be equal to f of b, and a in this case would be -4, and b is equal to 4. Now, to see whether it's equal, we just have to plug in the equation. So f of -4 is equal to -4 to the fourth minus 2 -4 to the second. So when we do this, we get 128, I believe, minus 16 is 32. So we know that f of -4 is equal to 96, if I did my math right, which I believe so. Now we just have to do f of 4, we just have to find the value for that, which is 4 to the fourth minus 2, 4 to the second. So when we do that, again, this is 128 minus 32, and then we find that the values are actually the same. So now we know all of this, we can actually use Rolle's theorem. And pretty much Rolle's theorem just says that, we're just using Rolle's theorem to find that f of c is equal to 0, f of prime of c. So what we do is we take the derivative of f of x, so f of prime of x is equal to, let's see, first let's just rewrite this equation so it's easier to work with, so I can see it better. And for this one, we just pull out the 4, and then x to the third minus 2 times 2 to the x. So that becomes 4x3 minus 4x, which is equal to f of prime of x, which is the first derivative. Now we're just trying to find where the points of c, or the values of c, in the interval, so that f of prime of c is equal to 0. So now that we know what f of prime of x is, and we want to find f of prime of c, we can set this equal to 0, and make this x, okay, like that. So we just set f of prime of x equal to 0 because we want to find this point right here. Now, we can simplify this to x, 4x x squared minus 1. Now we can simplify this even further by doing x minus 1 and then x plus 1, which is all equal to 0, of course, because we're trying to find the zeros of this, pretty much. Now that we have this, we can solve for x. So we can say 4x equals 0, and then x minus 1 is equal to 0, and x plus 1 is equal to 0. And when we solve for x, we get 1, x equals -1, and x equals 0. So the values of c in the interval of -4 to 4 where there's a slope of 0 is c is equal to -1, 0, 1 at when f of prime of x equal to 0 in the interval -4 to 4. Boom.